Summer 1944. A German prisoner of war steps off a ship in New York Harbor, Heinz Werner, age 24, captured in Normandy 3 weeks ago. He's a true believer. He's been told America is weak, decadent, incapable of real industrial production, that Germany's factories are superior, that the war is winnable. He believes all of it. Then they put him on a train. Destination: a POW camp in Texas. The journey will take 4 days. By the end of it, Heinz Werner will know Germany has already lost the war. Not because of what he's been told, but because of what he sees through the train window, mile after mile, factory after factory, a nation that doesn't just build weapons, a nation that mass produces victory. This is the story of how German POWs realized the truth. America wasn't just fighting a war. America was printing tanks like newspapers, and Germany never had a chance. The train leaves New York. Werner and dozens of other German POWs stare out the windows. They expect bombed cities, rationing, desperation. That's what Germany looks like in 1944. Instead, they see something impossible. The factories are running, all of them smoke rising from hundreds of chimneys, and they're not building one tank at a time. They're building dozens simultaneously. On assembly lines that stretch for miles, Werner sees a factory in Pennsylvania. A sign reads, "Locomotives." He counts 12 being built at once, 12 in one building. In Germany, building one locomotive takes months. Here, they're producing them like toys. Another POW, Franz Hartmann, later writes in his diary, "We have been lied to completely." The propaganda had been specific. America is lazy. Americans are soft. They don't have the discipline for war production. Their factories are slow. Their workers are undedicated. And there's a racial component, too. The Nazi propaganda claimed a diverse workforce couldn't cooperate, that only pure Aryan labor could achieve efficiency. The POWs believed it. Why wouldn't they? They'd never seen America. But now, they're seeing it. And everything they were told is backwards. The factories run 24 hours a day, 3 shifts. The workers are black, white, women, immigrants. And they're outproducing Germany 10-1. One POW later said, "We were told they couldn't work together, but they're building a bomber every hour." The train rolls through Ohio. Werner sees the Willow Run plant Ford's B-24 Liberator factory. It's the largest building he's ever seen. Over 3 million square feet under one roof. A mile-long assembly line. At peak production, a new B-24 rolls off the line every 63 minutes. 1 bomber per hour. Germany's entire aircraft production for a month is less than what this one factory produces in a week. Werner does the math in his head. He's seen the bombers over Europe. Hundreds of them, thousands. He thought Germany was shooting them all down, making a difference. Now he realizes the truth. For every bomber Germany destroys, America builds 5 more. It's not a war. It's arithmetic. And Germany is on the wrong side of the equation. They pass through Detroit, the arsenal of democracy. Werner sees tank factories, not 1 dozens. Sherman tanks rolling off assembly lines. He counts them, loses count, starts again. In 30 minutes of watching, he counts over 40 tanks completed, 40 tanks. In 30 minutes. Germany produces about 1,500 tanks per month. America produces 2,000 per month, and that's just tanks. The trucks, the jeeps, the half-tracks, the artillery. Werner sees them all, being loaded onto trains, heading to ports, heading to Europe, heading to kill his friends. One German officer, a career soldier, breaks down crying. "We can't win," he says. "We never could." The most shocking part isn't the quantity, it's the waste. In Germany, every resource is precious. Every scrap of metal is recycled, food is rationed, fuel is rationed, everything is scarce. The train stops at a station in Kansas. The POWs are given lunch, white bread, real butter, meat, fruit, more food than they've seen in months. And the guards are eating the same thing. This isn't special treatment. This is normal. One POW asks a guard, "Is this how you always eat?" The guard shrugs. "Pretty much." Werner realizes something. America isn't just outproducing Germany. America is doing it while living better. German workers are starving to build tanks. American workers are well fed and building more tanks. How do you fight that? Franz Hartmann writes in his diary, "We saw farms, enormous farms, with machinery we've never seen, tractors the size of houses, combines that harvest a field in hours, and the fields go on forever. Miles of wheat, miles of corn. I asked our guard where all this food goes. He said most of it stays in America. They export the surplus." Surplus. We don't have that word anymore in Germany. This is the revelation. Germany is fighting a total war, sacrificing everything and still losing. America is fighting with one hand, the other hand is making refrigerators, washing machines, cars for civilians, and America is still winning. The industrial capacity isn't comparable. It's not even close. The train reaches Texas. 5 days of travel, 5 days of watching America produce Werner, and the other POWs are different now. Quieter. The camp commander asks if anyone still believes Germany will win. Nobody raises their hand. One officer, a fanatic Nazi when captured, says, "I've seen their factories. We were told they were weak. They're not weak. They're stronger than anything we imagined every day. They build more than we build in a week. And they're not even trying hard. This is just their industry, running normally." He pauses. "We're fighting a nation that makes war the way we make bread, and we're running out of flour." After the war, historians interview these POWs. The question is always the same. When did you know Germany would lose? Almost all of them give the same answer. The train ride. Not a battle, not a bombing. The train ride across America. Seeing the factories, seeing the abundance, seeing the reality behind the propaganda. One POW, Hans Schmidt, put it simply. "We were told America was weak and chaotic. Instead, we saw the most organized industrial machine in human history, making everything all at once and doing it efficiently. That's when I knew we weren't fighting an army. We were fighting an assembly line, and you can't beat an assembly line with courage." The numbers tell the story. During World War II, America produced 300,000 aircraft, 89,000 tanks, 3 million machine guns, 40 billion bullets, 87,000 warships, 5,000 cargo ships. Germany's total production combined doesn't equal half of that. And America did it while maintaining civilian production, while feeding its people, while keeping the lights on. Germany sacrificed everything and still couldn't keep up. That's not a failure of will. That's mathematics. Here's the lesson that the German POWs learned on that train ride. Wars aren't won by the bravest soldiers or the best tactics. Wars are won by logistics, by production, by the ability to replace losses faster than the enemy can inflict them. Germany had excellent soldiers, excellent tactics, excellent weapons, but they couldn't build enough of them. America had good soldiers, good tactics, good weapons, but they could build unlimited quantities and unlimited beats excellent every single time. The German POW saw this through train windows factory after factory, mile after mile, and they understood what their generals refused to admit. The war was over the moment America entered it, not because America was better at fighting, but because America was better at building. And in industrial warfare, the factory floor matters more than the battlefield. Heinz Werner spent 2 years in that Texas POW camp. After the war, he returned to Germany. He never spoke about his combat experiences, but he talked about the train ride constantly to his children, to his grandchildren. "I thought we were fighting for survival," he'd say. "Then I saw America, and I realized we were fighting against a machine we couldn't stop, not with bullets, not with courage, not with anything. Because while we were making one tank, they were making 20, and they did it while eating better than our generals." That's the truth that broke the German POWs, not cruelty, not defeat in battle, but abundance, the realization that everything they'd been told was a lie, that America wasn't weak, America was holding back, and even while holding back, America was unstoppable. The factories kept running, the assembly lines kept moving, the ships kept sailing, the planes kept flying, and Germany kept losing. Not because German soldiers weren't brave, but because bravery doesn't beat a nation that can replace every loss by tomorrow morning. That was the lesson of the train ride, and every German POW who took it learned it the same way, by watching through the window, as mile after mile of American industrial power rolled past, and understanding finally that the war had been lost before it ever began.